I would really recommend everyone, if you've got a house built in 70s or 80s or maybe even earlier than that, go check what electrical panel brand you have. A lot of people, if it's a Challenger panel, that's an obsolete panel. You're going to try to get insurance. You're going to have a really hard time, or when you try to sell the house, the buyer's going to have a really hard time replacing it.
Challenges with the Challenger.
Challenges
That's how
with
you
the
can
Challenger.
remember that one.
So it's considered an obsolete panel, but the three big ones, Zinsco, Sylvania, and Federal Pacific, are all considered fire hazards. And so we run into situations, and you might have as well, or you will, that there's a lot of people that, you'll go on a realtor will go on a listing appointment and they'll say, hey, we're trying to, that electrical panel is a Zinsco, that's a fire hazard. And they'll say, well, I've got insurance. And what a lot of people don't realize is when they got their policy, back in the day, a lot of these companies did not require a 4-point inspection unless the house was 40 years or older.
Wow.
So you might have had a 30, 35-year-old house, and for whatever reason it was not disclosed that you had a Zinsco electrical panel. The insurance company might have never gotten the 4-point because it wasn't required. And so on your application, it'll say, does my house have a Zinsco panel? So the
so
scary
they're that
thing,
bad, huh?
Yeah, it's a fire hazard.
Wow.
The scary thing about that is that, I'm not going to tell you that an insurance company's not going to cover your claim if that panel burns your house down, but you're giving them an out, right?
Wow.
Because their paperwork says, they don't accept Zinsco, just using them as an example, but you have one and your insurance company doesn't know it. So I would go check.
Yeah, and if you're a real estate agent, think about how good that makes you look. If you're pointing that out to the client, hey, look, here at Keller Williams Realty, we like to bulletproof our deals.
Yeah.
Here's a potential issue I see. Let's get it taken care of now. Maybe a handyman can come in and do it versus the buyer finding it. And then what happens, Jay?
Well, then you've got to negotiate it under contract. This is one of my big things now is you've got to try to, when you go on a listing appointment as a realtor, you're trying to get these things done before you list the property, so that you don't end up having a deal fall apart under contract because, the 4-point says that there's a problem and we didn't know that. So getting a pre-listing inspection, that sort of thing. Also with the Zinsco electrical panels, you're looking for red, blue, and green breakers. So sometimes the panels are so old, maybe the writing is rubbed off or it's just gotten the paper that Zinsco was listed on is rubbed off. So just look for red, blue, and green breakers. If you have red, blue, and green breakers, it's a Zinsco panel, it's a fire hazard, and you need to get it replaced.